Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check. Good afternoon. I'm Mark Vesey, Congressman for the 33rd Congressional District, and thank you for taking the time to be here today. We're here to talk about the $1 million investment in community project funding that's being awarded to the West Dallas Multi-Purpose Center. And the West Dallas Multi-Purpose Center has a long history of being here in the neighborhood and taking care of the needs of residents here in the West Dallas area. I particularly love this branch because we've had like lots of different events here. We've had our art competition here in the past. We've had town hall meetings here in the past. And this center has always been a very opening type place that makes you kind of feel at home. And so I like that. And I think that that this will also, the money that we're going to celebrate here today, this enhancement project is going to provide the additional square footage to help on things like WIC, which is hugely important to the community, and also serve as construction of a connection between the West Branch Library. And by replacing lot space with green space and walkways and establishing a public plaza between the buildings and removing the parking of the perimeter of the campus, it's going to really create an entirely different atmosphere. And so this revitalized environment is going to promote and facilitate enhancement of job growth, community involvement, and fellowship, and boost overall morale with the beautification of the area. And I mentioned community involvement and fellowship. I can't think of another place in the entire city of Dallas where you see community involvement and fellowship like you do here with West Dallas. It's absolutely amazing. And so I'm proud to be here. Here's a copy of the check for $1 million. And I just want to say this before I introduce the next speaker, is that I'm glad that we brought the congressionally directed spending back. I know some people like to call it earmarks. My first several terms in Congress, we did not have it. But to be quite honest with you, and I was a huge President Obama supporter, but we should have never ceded that part of what is a congressional duty that's spelled out in the Constitution. We should have never ceded that to the executive branch. It should not have happened. It is Congress's responsibility, the House and the Senate, to specifically decide how this congressionally directed spending is going to be spent and who gets it. And there should be more transparency. Before I came to Congress, there was no way to really tell who actually put in for these earmarks. And we needed earmark reform. Now we only have 15, and you can go on my website at vc.house.gov, and you can look and you can see exactly all of the earmarks that I've requested for. I'm not embarrassed of any of the earmarks that I've requested. We only get 15, and with me representing both Dallas and Tarrant counties, I try to make sure that I split them as evenly as possible. But I'm not embarrassed that I asked for this money. I think that this $1 million that we're presenting today, I think that it's going to help the community. I think that it's going to go a very long way. And I think it's long overdue because we need to do more to help communities like West Dallas, all over the city and all over North Texas, for that matter. And so the next speaker is going to be Laura Cadena, who works for Omar Nevadas. And Omar was not able to make it today. And so I'm just going to ask Laura to come up and have a few comments. Thank you.
As the Congressman said, my name is Laura Cadena. I'm the Council Liaison for District 6. Just want to thank each of you for being here today. And I want to extend my heartfelt thanks, Congressman, for this generous gift for our community, for West Dallas and for District 6. This is truly transforming for us. Since 1988, the West Dallas Multi-Purpose Center has been a beacon of hope for our community. It offers a wide array of services. It offers senior services, programs for veterans. It houses the West Dallas Community Courts. There's also food distributions and SNAP assistance. We also offer back-to-school events. Through this partnership, the center has continuously cared for the residents of West Dallas, but we have seen a change of need as our community has grown. And so this gift is going to allow us to meet those needs. The site's going to establish a WIC services, which is much needed for our families. We will also be reconfiguring the south wing, which will have better workspace so that we can meet the needs of our residents. And they're outside, most importantly, we're going to have better connectivity between the library and the multipurpose center, so that our residents will be able to use both of those facilities here and create a true municipal district in West Dallas. Once again, I just want to extend my deepest appreciation to the Congressman for your vision and also for your work in DC. This investment is not just in a building, but it's in the people and for the residents of West Dallas and District 6. And now I would like to introduce Councilmember Gracie.
Thank you, Laura. Good afternoon. On behalf of Councilmember Omar Narvaez, let me just take a personal moment to say that it is an honor to stand here before you today to do this. Having being a newly elected council member, I've learned what compassion looks like as an elected official by watching how Councilmember Omar Narvaez serves his community, and not just serves, but loves his community, especially this community right here in West Dallas. I have ties to West Dallas. I've also been a part of Brother Bill's Helping Hand, so I've served on that board and understand the needs here. So again, publicly thank you, Congressman Vesey, for this generous donation and understanding its impact and what it'll do for this community. The West Dallas Multipurpose Center is an example of the resilience of Dallas and its residents. The severe weather yesterday demonstrates just how crucial a place like this is to any community in their times of need. When the power goes out, people can come here and charge their phones. In the heat, the facility is a cooling center. In other times of crisis, there's food distribution to those who need it. Again, multi-purpose center. Investment in facilities like this one are investments in the community and its resilience. This is a lifeline for residents at all times, but especially in those times of crisis like we saw yesterday. This investment ensures that the multipurpose center can be the lifeline for years to come. No one knows what this means more than the members of this community and residents who use the center every day. Now it is my pleasure to introduce to you Jessica Suarez, a constituent and active community leader in District 6, to come to the podium and provide remarks. Jessica has worked out of the West Dallas Multipurpose Center for about 15 years and owns Rainbow Snow Cone, a local business in West Dallas. So without further ado, let's bring her up with this very fly purse.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jessica Suarez, and I am a constituent in District 6. And I question myself sometimes, why do I get so nervous when I speak in front of people when I really am going to come and speak out of my heart, and in something that I am so grateful about? $1 million, y'all. It's really a celebration. Why? Because when you really think about the perspective behind it, WIC services in the house, that means children, that means moms, that means counseling for postpartum depression, that means hope, that means children who are tomorrow's generation, and so far so on, right? Like, we have to start young, and to be able to house the WIC clinic here is a huge impact for the West Dallas community. And I would be selfish if I continue to say here just West Dallas community, because out of the doors of this place, I see a lot of people that come from different neighborhoods and different communities because services are not being provided at their community. So this is an open place for people from all communities. And it's been an honor for many years to be able to see so many services. In regards the bridge with the library, I am very excited about that because everyone who houses here is always so enthusiastic about education. And so being able to bridge the library to the West Dallas Community Services is just going to really add to that education piece of it, which is GED, citizenship, continuous adult education. And so I am personally very, very excited about that. And I would like to thank again Congressman Mark Vesey for making this happen. Thank you for that position of being able to make a difference for people. This is about people. This is about impacting their lives and effectively, continuously to bring communities together. And that's by the decision to be able to put that kind of money into the West Dallas. It's going to continue to serve many people as myself. I came into the West Dallas Community Centers, here into West Dallas Multipurpose Center. I worked for West Dallas Community Centers. And I was really young and I didn't have direction. And when I came in here, I came because the community courts helped me pay for my tickets. Make a long story short, it's been 15-something years that I've been here. And if these walls can speak to you, they will speak in behalf of all the success stories that we have been able to do in the lives of many people. Thank you, Congressman. Thank you, Laura, for inviting me. Thank you for everyone for being here.
Okay, so we are going to do a quick photo with all the check. I'm going to ask everyone that spoke to come up with me, and then I'll do some Q&A. Get in front of the podium here. You can sit down right in front of there. Does anyone have any questions from the media? Anyone? Let me just also say this in closing, if there aren't any questions. I mentioned earlier about the fact that we only have 15 of these earmarks now, these congressionally directed spending requests. And I try to spread them out as evenly as possible. One of the other changes that has taken place with these requests is that there were some complaints from the majority, from the Republicans, and so there were additional rules made, which is very unusual. Normally the rules for everything that we do are made at the beginning when we're doing all of our housekeeping and rules for Congress. But this last appropriations bill that passed, there were some Republicans that were upset about what they called congressionally directed spending requests that went to what they call woke organizations and LGBTQ organizations. And they said that they felt like that they should not have had to vote for those. And so one of the new rules changes that you're going to see, and this is really more not for the city of Dallas that we're here celebrating today, but this is for the nonprofit community. We can no longer ask for most of the requests that went directly to nonprofits anymore, so that's changed. And so you're going to see more requests run that go through cities now and municipalities, because, like, for instance, out of the 15 requests that I had in this last package, I believe that there were, let's say there were 10 or 11 that went to nonprofits. Only one of those are eligible for congressionally directed spending now. All those other nonprofits that I requested money for and they received, they're no longer eligible for the rest of this year. Now, of course, if Democrats regain the majority of the House, then we'll go back to the old rules. And here's the way that I look at it. I'm certain that, and I don't understand why the Republicans made the changes. I'm certain that the appropriations bill that I voted for, that if some political consultant or anyone else, if they were to just comb through all of that, they would find some things that I don't agree with. But it's absolutely bonkers. It's nuts to think that if 435 people are making requests for organizations, that you're going to agree with all 435 times 15 of those members in every request that they made. I don't think that this appropriations bill that I voted for that had this City of Dallas money in there, I'm under no illusion that every Republican request in there I agree with. I don't think I probably agree with every Democratic request that's in there. I think that it's bonkers to think that I'm going to agree with every Democratic request that's in there too. This is not an exercise in groupthink. This is an exercise in trying to send congressionally directed spending to districts that show need, and it's up to each member to decide whether or not those needs are good for their district, and then they vote for the bill. Me voting for the bill is absolutely no reflection and absolutely has nothing to do with how I personally feel about the other 434 members that have made requests. I can guarantee you, I could comb through there. I can save a political consultant some headaches. I can comb through there myself and find stuff that I don't agree with, but that's part of the process. So that's how things get done, and that's how things work in the United States House of Representatives. So I just wanted to share that with you. Again, I think it's important that we bring these back. This is Congress's duty to decide how this money is spent, and not some bureaucrat that's in that serves in the executive branch, whether that executive branch is being led by a Republican or Democrat. It's our job. Let's do our job. Let's bring transparency to everything that we do. And if someone disagrees with some of the requests that I've made, that's certainly within their rights to do so also. So, thank you very much. Yes.
Hi, I'm Sophia Burnett with the Dallas Morning News, and I have a question just about the general enhancements and what needs in particular they're meeting, and also if there's a cost estimate for how much that in particular will be. So I know you mentioned about like work configurations being enhanced and that meeting a need, so I'm curious if you can expand on what that means directly.
There may be somebody here from the city that I think that the city manager, someone from the city manager's office here, but they left. They could probably go into a little bit more detail. Is that you want to? Yeah.
Yeah, the question is in particular, what needs the enhancement is supposed to meet?
Sure.
And if there's a cost estimate?
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jessica Galasha, Jessica, Galasha, Galleshaw. I'm with the City of Dallas. I'm the Director of the Office of Community Care. So regarding the enhancements, we're really, really excited, obviously, to have them come our way. We want to do a few things with them. First of all, our center is an incredibly important fixture in this community, but we are offset kind of back behind the library. So what we're trying to do is create some things that make it a little bit easier for people to walk around and get between, the bus stops and the drop-offs into the center. And so we're looking at improving some of the pathways, the trails, things like that, that'll make it easier for people to kind of get around between the center, the library, the bus stop. And we really even have now the Dallas Fire Rescue center that is over adjacent to us. And so we're kind of having really what is like a municipal kind of center here centered around this campus, our library, and our fire rescue center. So we're looking at creating ways to kind of improve that. We've made a lot of really cool improvements. In fact, one of the most exciting things that our center manager, Ashley Hedo, told me yesterday, she saw a bunny. And I know that that might sound a little bit silly or trivial, but we didn't used to have bunnies here because we've got the garden improvements and we've got the fruits and vegetables growing out. We've put a focus on the green spaces in the exterior of this building and creating an indoor and outdoor and a beautiful environment to be in. And so seeing a bunny was really an exciting piece of news for us. The other thing that we're doing here is we're going to be bringing some WIC services. We have this really cool kitchen facility that is just so poised for opportunities for nutrition assistance and education. And so we'll be bringing our WIC experts and our nutritionists here to provide the counseling some instructional opportunities, as well. Would you like me to stop while you address the, no, okay. So we'll be bringing the nutrition counseling, some instructional opportunities in classes, the breastfeeding support, and a lot of the resources that WIC brings. And then finally, we were honored to be able to put into place a bond project here in about 2020, 2021, which made a lot of these improvements to these two wings of the center, but we weren't able to address the south wing, which has a lot of kind of excessive hallway space and is oriented in a weird way. So we want to take the opportunity to really address that wing and make it an improved place for service delivery so they can bring still more partners into this center to provide more services for our community members. Does that address your question? All right. I will turn it back over to you, sir.
Sorry, just to be clear, the amount for all of that cost, Leah Waterstone's point is it exceeding $1 million?
So we still have to work with our facilities to figure out the best way to do a lot of those orientations and the cost of the projects and prioritize them. So to the extent to which we can do. So this area, renovation, obviously renovation costs, you never know what you're going to get into. So the extent to how we do that will really depend on a whole lot of things around cost and, of course, hiring the architect and the planner to kind of develop that and put that together. And then we have some ideas for some of the projects outdoors. Of course, we've already done some really cool things with pathways and some things through other partnerships. So we'll be building on those. And then, of course, the WIC services themselves are actually funded through the HHSC funds. So it's really more about using some of those renovation opportunities to create a better space to provide those services here.
And something important also that kind of goes back to your question is that if you look at these congressionally directed spending requests that members put in, including myself, it's usually not the answer to the issue that anyone is trying to solve, whether it's a nonprofit or it's a municipality. It's normally just an important piece of the puzzle on how they're going to find the money that they need to complete a project. And so, like for instance, the Southern Gateway project, I've put 2 requests in that have been funded for that particular project. And as you know, that's a very expensive project. And so what I've put in has been an important piece, but obviously they've had to find a lot more money to help pay for something as expensive like Southern Gateway. And as you know, construction costs, even for a small community center like this, can usually be pretty expensive. And so, again, it's an important piece, but I think that it's a critical piece because I think that the federal government certainly should try to be helpful when they can with our partners when it comes to these municipal projects. And one of the things that I never do is that I'll never put in a request for a project that I've not teamed up with the city on. And so if I put in the request, it's because the council person and the city of Dallas has been very specific about, hey, we could really use your help in this area. So I thank Omar and the city of Dallas for working closely with us to help identify some needs in the community. Thank you.